They fall asleep on your feet. They stand up the second you move. You find it cute, don't you? A beautiful sign of unconditional love. But the truth is far more complex. Behind those eyes that follow you everywhere, there's a silent expectation, a psychological tension that most owners never even suspect. Your dog isn't begging for affection. They're making sure you survive. And by brushing that off, you're missing the most vital conversation of their entire existence. Science has finally understood what floods their nervous system at that exact moment. And point number 4 is going to change the way you live with them forever. 1. You are their entire world, and that's not a figure of speech. Have you ever thought about what your dog does when you're not paying attention to them? They have no job. They have no friends outside this house. They have no plans. They only have you. That's it. You are the single element that gives meaning to their existence. So when they follow you, it's not a personality trait. It's biology. Researchers have proven that when you meet their gaze, their brain releases a thundering surge of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the exact same one that bonds a mother to her newborn. That's not a poetic metaphor. That's pure chemistry. So when you sigh with irritation because they get up every time you walk to the kitchen, you're not pushing away a whim. You're rejecting the only anchor of their nervous system. 2. They're not following you. They're protecting you. Have you noticed that they don't just walk in the same direction as you? They stick to you. Sometimes so close they nearly trip you. Most owners laugh about it or complain, but this very precise behavior has a name in ethology: shadowing. They're literally following you like your shadow. And it's not a training flaw. It's a survival instinct. Dogs are pack animals, and in a pack, you never let a member become isolated. Never. When your dog presses against your heels, they're obeying 10,000 years of evolution. To their limbic brain, distance is synonymous with danger. An owner out of sight is a potential target. They're not begging for your affection. They're making sure you stay alive. And here's what nobody ever tells you. The dogs that stick the most aren't the weakest ones. They're the most invested. The ones who decided without the slightest reservation that the only place worth being in this universe is right behind you. 3. The room they follow you into reveals the intensity of their fear. Pay very close attention to this. Your dog follows you everywhere, but do they do it the same way in every room? Do they rush ahead of you? Do they hesitate at the threshold? Do they stop in the middle of the room and track your movements? These variations aren't random, they're clinical data. Ethologists have proven that the canine brain maps your home into 3 zones: safety, excitement, and anxiety. The kitchen is excitement. The bedroom, soaked in your scent, is absolute comfort. But the front door is the emotional abyss of your home. If your dog follows you to the entryway, then freezes, sits down, or starts pacing back and forth, don't tell them to stop making a scene. That's pure anticipatory anxiety. Their neural networks have learned that this precise square of space is the exact point where you disappear. And no matter how many times you've come home in the evening, that primitive terror never fully goes away. Think about it for a second. That's not a behavioral problem. It's a terrified love that no longer knows where to hide. 4. When they follow you more than usual, it's a red alert. There are days when they refuse to let you out of their sight. They sit on your feet. They rest their head on your knees the moment you sit down. Most owners sigh and think they're really in need of attention today. That's a tragic mistake. Your dog doesn't need you to talk to them to know you're struggling. Their olfactory receptors scan in real time the variations in your cortisol levels, the stress hormone. They track micro-changes in your breathing. They sense the sudden drop in your energy. If they're suddenly glued to you for no apparent reason, they're not the unstable one. They detected a fracture in you, a quiet anxiety, a grief, an exhaustion, long before you've even admitted it to yourself. They know perfectly well they can't fix your problem, but they flatly refuse to let you carry that weight alone. So the next time your dog is inexplicably attached to you all day, don't push them away. Look them in the eyes and ask yourself how you are doing instead. 5. The dog that stops following you is in danger. What if one day they stopped? The dog who is stuck by your side for years suddenly stays on the couch. They watch you leave the room, but don't stand up. Most owners reassure themselves by saying, "They're getting older. They're just tired today." That's the most dangerous excuse you can make. Behavioral veterinarians are unequivocal about this. When a dog stops following you, it's a major clinical warning sign. Dogs instinctively mask their pain. It's a direct inheritance from wolves. In the wild, showing weakness means attracting predators. They're not going to cry. They're not going to whimper dramatically. But following you takes energy. When their body or mind is secretly fighting illness, that motivation disappears first, long before any other symptom. If your shadow suddenly refuses to move forward, don't wait. It's the only call for help they're capable of making. Ignoring it is condemning them. 6. The exact moment that reveals everything about your bond. Remember what I said at the start of this video? There's a specific moment in the day that most owners miss, and it proves the depth of what they feel. That moment is the exact second when you wake up. Before you move, before you speak to them, before you open the bag of kibble. What are they doing? Research on canine sleep cycles has revealed a breathtaking phenomenon. Dogs that are deeply attached actually change the architecture of their own sleep. As morning approaches, they sleep lighter. They align their breathing rhythm with yours. They analyze your micro-movements. If they're already there, watching you in the half-darkness before you've even put your feet on the floor, it's not because they're hungry. It's because they were silently waiting for your day to begin. They fell asleep with you. And their first thought upon waking was you. A dog that follows you everywhere has made a decision that most humans spend their entire lives hoping for. They chose you. Every single day, unconditionally, without the slightest hesitation. The least you can do is notice. If this video made you want to go check where your dog is right now, they're probably already waiting behind the door. Like this video and subscribe. Your dog deserves an owner who understands their soul.